Okay, so we moved our favorite votes.sql file into our home username directory. It's not in the public HTML, so it's not out on the web. It's just on the server. And then we have to use PuTTY to connect to the server. And at that point, we're going to add in our MySQL and our host name, our username, our password. You notice I just put a -p, so it will then require me to type in my password, and the database name. The less than symbol is a redirector from a file, so from the favorite votes.sql, and that should populate it. What I have to do then is go into MySQL and take a look and see, sure enough, select star from favorites. I see I've got the date, the IP address, color, season, and pet. So I've got all that information stored. Now, how am I going to get that data? Well, I've got to build a connection. You'll notice that I'm not in the public HTML. I'm in a folder called Connect that's outside of public HTML. That's important. We want to protect that vital information. So it's not on the web. Now, inside that folder called Connect, I have a file called connect.php. Let's take a look at what's inside of that. What's inside of that is a function called connect. So I've got a folder called connect with a file called connect.php, and inside of that is a function called connect. The first thing I'm going to do is override some of the settings of PHP to turn error reporting on. The 1 indicates on, so display errors is on. And what errors am I going to report? I'm going to report them all. Of course, we won't have too many. The next thing is a MySQL report. Now PHP, this is very important, does not report these errors by default because that information is highly sensitive. It's one of those ways that if you report that data on your website, anybody who's attempting a malicious attack would perhaps learn some information from those errors. So normally in a production environment we would turn them off. We are not in a production environment. That's why we're turning them on. But at the end of the semester, if you were going to use this stuff, you would comment out that line and not include that. The next thing is my connection, MySQLi_connect. I've got my local host, my username test case, my password, and the database name, which is also the same as my username test case. And then I return that connection. That's all I need in that. Now, to get at that file, I'm creating yet another connect.php, but this one is in the extra folder that's beneath the public_HTML. So this is the file that a malicious attacker could potentially find because it's out on the web. The other connect is not on the web. The purpose of this connect is just to load the other connect. Confusing? I hope not. So I've got 2 lines in it. Connect equals Finefile, connect/connect.php, and then include that $connect. Now, in fact, connect/connect.php does not exist. That would be from our current directory of public_HTML. It'd be beneath that, which we don't have that. But we have a Finefile function that also does not exist, and we need to create that. So the Finefile takes that information, and first it assumes done equals false. All right, while not done, that's the exclamation point, $done. It's going to do a loop, and that loop says if the file doesn't exist, so exclamation point file_exists of $f. If the file doesn't exist, add a .. in front of it. So that loop will go on forever searching for it. In fact, it'll only have to look one time, because if you're in the public_HTML, it'll go up once and then it'll find connect/connect.php. But just for sake, in case of a situation where for some reason it's been moved, I don't want to have an infinite loop, so I'm going to have a $x = 0 at the beginning and an x++ inside that loop, so that if x becomes greater than 4, I'm just going to assume done is true. It will at least stop an infinite loop from happening. And with that, we now have a working connection to the MySQL database. Next, we'll find out what happens with that connection.